Welcome back to Hitting the Bid, the place for retail traders by a retail trader. I'm your host, Jeff, and I'm here to break down market moves, share lessons from my own trading journey, and help you navigate the ups and downs of life in the markets. Whether you're just getting started or have been trading for years, this show is here to help you stay sharp, stay disciplined, and most importantly, stay in the game. Today is Thursday, August 7th. Let's get into it. Now looking around the market here, the S&P 500 via SPY, down 50 cents today, less than 0.10%. But you can see after last week's sell-off, we made a pretty good recovery here through most of the week. We're pretty much close to unchanged compared to last Thursday. We got the NASDAQ through QQQ. That one's actually up $1.80 today, up 0.3%. And the Russell 2000 down about 80 cents, 0.35% or so. We got the VIX up 13 cents today, which is 0.78%. We could see again here, it did make a pretty big move here Thursday and Friday after the selling that we saw in equities, and then the recovery in equities. We saw a pretty big decrease in VIX. We got as high as looks about 2190 here, currently about 1690 or so. Pretty good sell-off in VIX here, which kind of explains, or at least allows for a little bit of relief there in the market here through most of this week. We'll see where we go end up on Friday, but there appears to be a pretty good recovery here so far. Bitcoin at 116,680 or so. It looks like it sold off. Found a little bit of support here at this prior high. We got as low as about 112,400 or so, and we've recovered about $2,000, 2,200 since then. Bonds up 5 ticks. So that one I saw a lot of buying here since last Friday. We were down at about 114, just under 114, and now we're getting closer to 116 here. As far as a couple of currencies here, the British pound, these are futures here. British pound making a pretty good, saw a lot of buying here again since Friday. Kind of opposite of what we saw in the dollar as far as dollar weakness. And then the euro, this one showing a little bit of weakness today. We'll talk about a little bit more about this later, but we saw a pretty good amount of selling since last Thursday, and a pretty good recovery here this week. Gold up about $21 to $34.54. Really has been kind of consolidating in this range here from about $32.70 to $35.30 or so. Kind of bouncing around. It's starting to get a little bit tighter here, so it could be consolidating for its next move. Silver up 40 cents to $38.31. I've been just really strong all week. It's kind of trying to make its way back to that high there, $39.91. Oil up 3 cents, so up not too much today as far as price action, but it did get as high as about $70.51. So pretty big sell-off compared to last week. And finally, nat gas, that one's down almost 3 cents, so down almost 1% there, but it really got pretty low at $2.89. So making a little bit of a recovery, but hasn't had too much follow-through just yet. Now real quick, so we talked about silver, so just checking in a couple quick trades here. So again, it's been pretty strong here. This is SLV, so this is the iShares Silver Trust ETF. That one got as low as about 33, so we've recovered to about 34.70 here, up a couple dollars on this trade. And TLT, so I showed the /ZB futures chart. This one's TLT, the 20-year Treasury bond ETF. That one's at 88. This position's up a couple bucks. Let's see, it's up $12 so far. We got 106 days to expiration. Now the AI trade from last week, that short put went against me, pretty much selling off with the broader market since we entered last Thursday. This week it's rallied back a little bit, and so what I ended up doing, I added a short call spread, meaning I sold a call spread. It could have been a consideration last week, but after it rallied here this week, I wanted to hedge some of the downside. So this actually creates a little bit of a structure where I don't have any risk to the upside on the call spread, because the total credit on the position is 324, and the call spread is $2.50 wide here. So since there's about 74 cents in excess from between the credit and the spread, if this position expires with the call spread fully in the money, the net P&L will actually be about $74. There's also this area of maximum profit with both the short put and the short call at the 25 strike. These areas are at expiration, and I won't be holding the position until then. But it's good to visualize to see how the trade might develop. I mentioned today, I wanted to look at /6E. So this is the Euro USD futures. Put a couple drawings here. So you can see I drew a trend line that acted as support a few times, kind of here. But then we got a couple of touches here, here, and here. Then it broke this trend line here around mid-July or so. I think it was July 15th, between July 14th and 15th. And then it looks like it turned into resistance, also making a lower high compared to this high. So you can see going down here, breaking the trend line, and then acting as resistance right here. So we did make this lower, end up making a lower low. So we have this lower high right here, and then this lower low compared to here. Now I also drew this rectangle here. It's a fair value gap, and it's a gap that's created when this, this second candle right here, it has a big move, and then there's a gap between this first candle's low and this third candle's high. So this gap here, it's an imbalance between buyers and sellers, and price may retrace back into this in order to rebalance. And it looks like we did push into it the last couple of days. And today it looks like we're potentially making a lower high. So I'll zoom back out here. So we have this lower high. If this turns around here, this is what I want to see after this rebalance here. So I don't actually have a trade for today, but I'm interested in the next few days to see how the price action develops. I'd like confirmation of a lower high before making an entry. So tomorrow, if we close below today's low, which will actually kind of push back out of this fair value gap, I'll look for an entry to the short side. So, whether it happens tomorrow or early next week, I'll just be keeping an eye on this. Additionally, I'll put a little bit of this kind of trend line right here just to kind of follow it to see if it continues to make lower highs and maybe find some resistance here at the trend line. All right, and then that's all I got here for this week. Thanks for tuning in to Hitting the Bid. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow trader. You can also sign up for my weekly newsletter at news.hittingthebid.com, where I share market insights, interesting tickers, and practical strategies to help you grow as a retail trader. Until next time, trade small, trade smart, and keep hitting the bid.